ya.
You are the Exile, the one Atris warned us about.
What did Atris say?
She said, you betrayed the Jedi by going to war when it was forbidden to you. You turned on your masters, your teachings, and yourself.
Oh.
That is not all, she says. She says you know nothing of loyalty to any cause except your own animal instincts, and she told us why you fell to the dark side.
I do not walk the path of the dark side.
Atris says that you fell to the dark side in the Mandalorian Wars when you gave in to your lust for battle. Once you tasted war, you could not give it up.
That doesn't explain why I stopped fighting after the Mandalorian Wars.
Atris says when the Dark Lord Revan returned to the Republic, you did not march with him because you had fallen so far you could no longer feel the Force.
The Force aside, I was tempted to attack the Jedi, but I didn't.
So it was a matter of choice then. If Atris has erred in her evaluation of your motivations, it might be best to inform her.
Did Atris say anything else?
I believe that is the extent of her expressed feelings toward you. There are variations at times, but all rise from the same foundation.
Express feelings?
Yes, it is difficult sometimes for others to truly speak their heart or listen to it. The words often prove difficult, or they do not come at all.
What do you think Atris's heart says?
Without having seen you and Atris fight, I cannot say. Battle is a pure form of expression. It is heart and discipline, reduced to movement and motion.
Well, I have no wish to fight Atris.
Then her expressed feelings will have to suffice.
If I fought Atris, then that might make the truth come out.
Perhaps. It may prove truer than conversing with words. In battle, the words are swept away, giving way to actions. Mercy, sacrifice, anger, fear. These are pure moments of expression.
I would like to ask you something.
You may ask.
You look different than the other women here.
I honor the face of my mother. It is not something spoken of in the company of others.
I apologize. I mean no offense.
There's no need to apologize. You were merely remarking on something that you saw. There is no wrong in that.
Is it a sensitive subject?
It is not a sensitive subject, but a subject that requires trust. There is no such trust between you and I, and such trust takes time.
Let me ask you something else.
You may ask. I am aware of this. I do not doubt your combat prowess, as my half-sisters do. There are many who went to war against the Mandalorians, and few returned. You were one of them.
I guess maybe I did something stupid if I wanted
You may ask.
something like dark side points. Yeah, I thought she was going to want me to fight her, but really not.
Before you go, Exile, question for you, if I may ask it. You have touched the Force. What does it feel like?
It's a difficult thing to describe.
Please, I wish to know.
Imagine awakening and hearing the heartbeat of the galaxy for the first time.
I see. Thank you, Exile. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge with me.
It was my pleasure. Still get the net light side ship. I guess we had probably built too much time here already. Actually, I think let's go grab that. Let's head on back over to the ship. Moseying on out here.
Well, now that we're off that Dejaric board of a planet, I say we burn sky until we see lines.
What's with T3? What are you talking about? You downloaded Atris's archives?
What is the machine saying?
You said there was a hollow record of my trial in Atris's records.
We seem to have found it.
Do you know why we have called you here?
I came here because I chose to, not because you summoned me.
As Revan summoned you, so have you come full circle to return to the Jedi.
Why did you defy us? The Jedi are guardians of the peace, and have been for centuries. This call to war undermines all that we have worked for.
Is Revan your master now? Or is it the horror you wrought at Malachor that has caused you to see the truth at last?
I realized that following Revan to war was in violation of the Jedi Code, and I broke it, knowingly defying the wishes of the Council.
It is good you recognize this. It means you will understand why you must leave us. We feel that your true understanding of what happened at Malachor 5 will only happen in time, and it cannot happen here, near the battlegrounds where you fought.
You are exiled, and you are a Jedi no longer.
There is one last thing. Your lightsaber. Surrender it to us.
Center Stone. Definitely pissed off. Definitely glad that actually
Much
shows.
defiance in that one.
You were correct, Kavar. When she was here, I felt it. It was as if she was not there. More like an echo.
Revan's influence has grown amongst the youngest of the Order. He speaks to their passions, not their sense. The war has touched them. Many of them have found themselves in the war against the Mandalorians.
It is as I feared, and I fear that we have played into the hands of the enemy.
We have not lost a Jedi this day. You felt it. She has lost herself. She is no Jedi. She walked Revan's path, but she was not strong enough.
I fear it is our teachings that may have led Revan to choose the path he did.
We are not the ones who taught him.
We take responsibility, Atris, not cast blame.
The choice of one was the choice of us all. Revan's teacher intended no harm, and Revan had many teachers since.
Yet they all stem from the same source. Her teachings violated the Jedi Code and lead all who listen to the dark side, as they did the Exile.
You are wrong. The dark side is not what I sensed in the Exile. Surely the rest of you felt it as well. That emptiness we felt. She has changed.
Whatever that wound was, it was of the dark side. We should not have let her depart. She will simply join Revan again, or perhaps worse.
What would you have done with her, Atris? Be mindful of your feelings. This is not Revan who stood before you. This one walks a different path.
No, although that may come in time. We let her go because we must. Where she travels, she carries her destination with her.
Malachor 5 should have been her grave. You saw it in her walk, and in the Force. It was as if she was already dead.
No, not death. Many battles remain for that one, if what we have seen is true. But the future is a shifting thing, and she cuts like a blade through it.
We should have told her the truth. A Jedi deserved to know.
No good would have come from it, even if what you believe was true. There's still the matter of Revan, and such truths could leave us vulnerable on two fronts.
Perhaps in many years we will call her before us and explain what happened to her, and how she may be healed. Until then, she must accept her journey.
But she may never discover the truth, and she will never know why we cast her out.
And that is the future we must accept.
Those Jedi sure like their secrets, don't they?
Those last few moments after my trial, I had no idea. If you find anything else, let me know. Atris has a list of the missing Jedi. Sure, display it. Master Brook, Dantooine, Master Zik Kai-El, Nar Shaddaa, Master Kavar, Onderon, Master Vash, Korriban, Master Atris, Telos. I knew all those Jedi Masters.
A strange coincidence.
It is no coincidence. There is some larger plan at work here, and we are walking into it. This is too convenient to be anything but a trap.
We have no idea. Those Jedi know what happened to me. Interesting.
General, is there a reason you don't carry a lightsaber anymore?
Atris and the Jedi Council took it from me.
That's not your lightsaber anymore. That belonged to someone who served Revan in the wars, not the person you are now. You could build another one, if you wanted to, but you know that.
I'm not afraid of building a new lightsaber, if that's what you think.
I never said you were, but whatever the reason, you should put it behind you. I know this. A lightsaber is part of who you are. Without it, you're not complete.
Very well. To begin, there are some parts I'll need.
I think I can help you out there. I happen to know the parts you need.
Alright, what do we need?
We need a power cell, emitter matrix, lens and focusing crystal, though I have to admit the crystal is beyond my means. Never did understand them. Those parts are fairly common, though a Jedi once told me that it's best if your lightsaber reflects you, and if it is constructed of things that identify it as your own. Just bring the parts to me before you get started building it. I'll make sure they're usable.
For the last time, no. Because you're programmed to force your opponent to go first, and nothing will convince me the computer doesn't cheat. Even if I didn't have to go first and somehow I didn't suspect you of counting cards, I still wouldn't play with a trash compactor. Yeah? How many credits?
All I'm saying is that you've gone for a long time without a memory wipe. Most droids behave erratically under those circumstances. I know that, but I'm fixing everything else around here, so I may as well take a look at you too. What was that? That's what I'm talking about. That is not normal droid behavior.
What's going on in here?
I am not pushing you around. I just wanted to see if there was anything I could do to upgrade your functionality.
That sounds like a good idea to me.
Good. Now let's get started. You wouldn't guess it from the outside, but it looks like you've been through a lot. I'll bet. I'm all done with you. If anything comes loose, let me know and I'll put it back in place.
Alright. And still doesn't have a person there. Theodore is pretty much hanging out in the garage. Doing his thing. But since we have a board for him, go ahead and install the control cluster. Cool. Nobody here. Cargo hold area. So pretty much the whole gist of that video sequence is pretty much we have to go travel across the galaxy to talk to these Jedi to find out what exactly really happened to me and why I was cast out of the Force and all that stuff. But I think I'm gonna leave it at that. And probably next time that I do this game, I will probably talk to Atris, or not Atris, Kreia, then talk to Anne, talk to Beodor, and the rest of the crew. Get some sort of feel of what's going on with them. Then we'll continue on to the next planet that we will be planning on going, and go from there. So I will see you guys next time.